Are you just tired of the constant fight? The endless battle for every single customer, always looking over your shoulder at what your rivals are doing? I mean, what if the only real way to win was to stop playing their game completely? Well, let's dive into a book that promises exactly that. Blue Ocean Strategy by W. Chan Kim and Renee Malborgen. All right, so here's our game plan. First, we're going to face the brutal reality of the red ocean crisis. Then, we'll unpack the brilliant framework to escape it. After that, we'll talk about the massive mindset shift you have to make for this to work. And finally, we'll lay out a super clear path to turn all this strategy into real-world action. So let's start with the problem, right? The urgent, stressful reality for so many businesses today. The authors have a name for it. They call it the red ocean crisis. This quote, wow, it just nails it. The red ocean is their metaphor for any industry today that's just packed with competitors fighting over the same group of customers. And as that fight gets more and more vicious with price wars and copycat products, the water literally turns bloody with competition. It's a brutal place to be. And if you think that's just a cool metaphor, look at these numbers. It's pretty shocking. A study in the book found that a staggering 86% of all new business launches happen right inside these crowded red oceans. But here's the kicker. They only account for 39% of the profits. Think about that. Most businesses are fighting the bloodiest, hardest battles for the absolute smallest rewards. It's insane. So why on earth does this keep happening? Well, it's because the standard advice, the conventional wisdom, is totally broken. The default move is to just look at your competitors and try to do what they do, but maybe a little better or a little cheaper. This is a guaranteed race to the bottom where everything becomes a commodity and your profits just vanish. So if fighting harder isn't the answer, what is? And that brings us to the solution. This is the good part. The book gives us this incredibly powerful framework for getting out of that bloody red ocean and into clear, open water, a blue ocean. This is where we shift from crisis mode to opportunity mode. Okay, the absolute cornerstone of this whole idea is something called value innovation. Now, this is not about a trade-off. It's not choosing between offering more value for a higher price or less value for a lower price. No, it's about shattering that choice. It's the radical idea that you can go after differentiation and low cost at the exact same time, creating this massive leap in value for your customers and for you. This chart just lays it all out plain and simple. On the left, you've got the red ocean way of thinking. Fight head-to-head in the market you've got. On the right, the blue ocean way. Create a brand new market where there is no competition. See the difference? You're not just playing the game differently. You are inventing a completely new game that only you know how to play. Okay, great, you're thinking, but how do I actually do that? Well, the book gives us this amazing practical tool. It's called the 4 Actions Framework. It's designed to help you tear down and rebuild the logic of your industry by asking 4 simple but really profound questions. Answering these helps you create a whole new value curve for your business. Let's make this real with a classic example, Yellowtail Wine. They were entering a brutally red ocean, but instead of trying to outsnob the snobs, they used this framework. Look here. They eliminated all the confusing, intimidating wine jargon. They reduced the overwhelming number of choices. They raised their price just a bit above the super cheap stuff to signal quality. And most importantly, they created a wine that was just fun, simple, and easy to choose. Bam! A blue ocean for people who were turned off by traditional wine culture. Now, this is a really important point. Understanding these frameworks is one thing, but actually applying them to your business with its own unique challenges, that's a whole other ballgame. The book gives you the what and the why, but so many leaders get stuck on the how. That gap between theory and action is where an implementation expert becomes so critical. You know, using this framework is so much more than just a business exercise. It really demands a deep, fundamental shift in how you think. You have to move from being reactive, just responding to what everyone else is doing, to being truly revolutionary in your approach. Just let that question sit with you for a second. We all tend to accept the rules of our industry as if they're set in stone. But what if they're not? What if you could actually be the one to reshape them? This right here is the mind-bending truth at the heart of Blue Ocean strategy. The rules are not fixed. The most successful leaders and entrepreneurs realize they can literally reconstruct the boundaries of their market to their own advantage. It's a powerful discovery, and it's something that leaders often uncover when working with a guide like Coach Karen. And when a business pulls this off, the results are just incredible. You stop fighting for a bigger slice of the pie, and you go bake a whole new, much bigger pie for yourself. We're talking about that dream state, explosive revenue growth, much higher profit margins, and a competitive landscape where you're pretty much alone. But the impact on the leader is maybe even more profound. Instead of being completely burnt out, constantly putting out fires and reacting to competitors, they become focused, strategic, and deeply intentional. They get their clarity back, they get their purpose back. Coach Karen calls this intentional leadership. Okay, but let's be real for a second. A brilliant strategy that just sits in a PowerPoint deck is, well, it's just a nice thought, isn't it? It's inspiration. The biggest reason these things fail is that implementation gap. And that's exactly why having a system, a real system built by someone like Coach Karen, is what separates a dream from actual results. So let's talk about that pathway. How do you get from reading this amazing book to actually living and breathing these ideas in your own business, in your own leadership? Well, a really smart first step on this journey is to figure out where you are right now. A tool like the Intentional Resilience Assessment, which Coach Karen offers, is perfect for this. It's designed to help leaders understand their own strengths and growth areas across 8 different research-backed domains. This gives you a really clear baseline for your own capacity to lead this kind of major strategic change. And once you know where you stand, you can explore the best way to get support. For some, that might be a customized discovery call with an expert. For others, it could be intensive one-on-one coaching to really guide the whole process. Or maybe it's a keynote to get your entire team fired up. The point is, there are paths available to take you from that struggle of the red ocean to the freedom of the blue. Okay, so here it is. Your simple 3-step action plan to get started. Step 1, buy Blue Ocean Strategy and really let it sink in. Step 2, head over to Intentional Resilience Taught Me and take the assessment to find out your leadership strengths. And Step 3, visit lifelongdevelopment.com to schedule a discovery call or book a keynote and just start the conversation. And that's really the bottom line. The book gives you the absolutely brilliant, game-changing framework. But an expert like Coach Karen provides the implementation system that actually makes the competition irrelevant. Your transformation can start today.